And it's covering, which we don't do very often, I'm afraid, the social and the psychological and the physical aspects of the game. Hey everyone, it's Mark and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 4Ds, and not the 4Ds of defending. For those of you that have been on my channel before, you can see that one. You can catch the 4Ds of defending right here if you're struggling with your defensive situations. But this one's a different one, and it's covering, which we don't do very often, I'm afraid, the social and the psychological and the physical aspects of the game. So there's oh, it's a bit dark there, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So there's so many times when we come down to training as coaches and we concentrate on the technical, but in the UK over the last 10 or 11 years, many of the FAs around the country have adopted the four-corner model. So this was brought into place around about 2010, 2011, I think, and was created by Simmons in 2005 as a long-term athlete development program. Now this program is aimed at every single player, be that, let me just get the sun in my eyes for better lighting. So this development program was aimed literally at any level, any gender, any age. The FA believe as coaches you can cover all of these aspects in terms of athlete development and talent identification programs. So with that said, what are the 4Ds I'm talking about? Dreams, dedication, desire, and decisions. Now, you can't have one without the other. They're linking together, they all do. So we're going to start off with dreams, but before we get there, think about desire and dedication of two different situations. Dedication is how much are you dedicated to your club, to your team, to your teammates, and desire is more about the desire you're showing on the pitch in practice and competitive play. Right, let's start off. First D, dreams. Guys, girls, you wake up in the morning, you've had a dream about where you want to be in terms of football, you've had a dream about the game you're about to play, you might have had a daydream about how you're going to practice that night, you might dream about where you're going in your career as a footballer. And don't let anyone ever tell you you can't have dreams. Don't let your parents tell you can't dream, don't let your coaches tell you can't dream. If you're dreaming too big, one day you'll realise it for yourself. So don't worry about what your parents say, don't worry about what your coaches say and your managers, you'll realise it yourself. However, there will be the odd few whose dreams do come true. Depending on how big your dreams are, will match whether your skill level can take you to where you want to be. But your dreams might be a little bit smaller than actually wanting to make it as a professional player in the women's or men's game anywhere around the world. The big tip that people give you is to say keep your steps small and you'll achieve goals. However, are dreams goals? I actually don't think they are. Your dreams can be as big as you want them to be. But you've got to match that with the second part, which is dedication. If you've got dreams and aspects of being a professional player, then you've got to have the dedication to your team, to your cause, to improve. You've got to go down to every session as a player to actually want to be dedicated to everything that coach is asking you to do. You might not believe in some of the things the coach is asking you to do, but you've got to be dedicated to that cause. And that's obviously me addressing players. So if I'm addressing coaches here, guys, girls who coach, you know how difficult this job can be. You'll be working out all day what your session plan is, and you are dedicated to that team. Now, when you get down there, you might find a couple of players aren't as dedicated as you are, but you've got to carry on that dedication. You've got to show that dedication, because how you express yourself as a coach to the players will determine how they respond to you. So the dedication you've got as a coach to your club, I don't underestimate you. You don't underestimate yourself. Don't let anybody underestimate you. Keep going, keep driving forward. Dedication is massive in this game. You'll get your rewards. You'll see some players go on to do really, really well because of how you've coached them. Just got to watch where I'm walking here, like, you know, we've got a little bit of rope there. Yes, you know for a fact that your dedication is going to give you a lot of success, and I don't particularly mean in terms of results. It could be success just in the terms of players go on to develop and they do really well, and you'll look back at that and know that the dedication you put in over the years was well worth it. Right, so the next one is desire, and this is literally, I'm really talking to players here for desire. You need to have a lot of desire. I personally believe that desire overtakes technical ability and skill to a certain extent. I've got to stop looking away from the camera. Desire overtakes technical ability and skill to a certain extent. Obviously, you've got to have some form of ability to go along with your desire. But I see it so much in players. Some players have got more desire than others. And I'm talking, have you got the desire to play that pass to your teammate, to get that crossing when you've hit the byline, to shoot at goal and actually hit the target and make the keeper make a save at least? And the biggest one for me, have you got the desire to stop the opposition scoring? You don't have to be a defender for this, you just have to have that desire to want to win and that desire to achieve something on your patch, whether that's a midfielder pressing or a forward pressing, and not letting that ball come through to the other units, knowing the fact that you've done your job as your coach has asked. Desire. Desire overtakes technical ability and skill every single time, as long as you can play a little bit. Right, and the last one is decision making. A flipping ice cream man. Okay, it was in my video last week, I do apologise. I'm just going to wait 1 minute for him to go. Decision making comes from an early age. Now, you might not tell your players and tell your athletes that decision making, let's say at 8 years old and 9 years old, is the difference between winning and losing a game of football, because obviously, really, if you're truthful, you're not really that bothered about winning a game of football when the players are 8 or 9 years old. So the decisions they make are going to help them learn. Now, as coaches, do we offer advice on the decisions they've made if it's a poor decision, or do we just let them learn themselves? So as we move up the age groups and move up the levels of football, decisions on a pitch will absolutely win you and lose you football matches throughout the season. So decisions as a unit, decisions as a team, or individual decisions. And I'm talking about decisions to do something reckless as a fullback, do something reckless as a centre half, make a rash decision as a keeper. Or do you make positive, purposeful decisions that are going to enable your team to move forward and win games of football? Decisions are massive. And as I've mentioned, Jurgen Klopp says they're the difference between winning and losing games of football. The reason being for this is because if it's 1-0 and you're through on goal, God, that sun's bright, and you're through on goal, if you're one-on-one with a keeper, but your mate's in a better position, you just slide it through to your mate and he scores an open goal and it's 1-1, you get a point out of that, that's a great decision. So as I mentioned, Jurgen Klopp says decisions are what makes and breaks a football team, what makes and breaks either a win or a loss on a football pitch. So he's basically talking about bad decisions from the team, bad decisions from individuals, or good decisions from a team, from a unit, or from individuals. If you can have 90 minutes of good decisions, absolutely you're going to win football matches. But if you have too many bad decisions in these games, it's going to cost you. So as an individual player, think about your decision making. Decision making is massive. You know, I look back and when I coached my son at the age of 9 and 10 years old, his decision making was really, really poor. He'd get the ball, he'd just kick it away. So I'd give him many opportunities to make a different decision and paint a different picture. I'd roll a ball into him, or one of his teammates would roll a ball into him in practice, asking him to think about what he's doing, think about where he went wrong in the first place, make a different decision. So guys, that's my 4 Ds, covering a little bit of the psychological side of football. Hope this helps. Hope you can go away and think to yourself, okay, I'm going to concentrate on a few of them. If you're a coach, maybe you can go and relay this to some of your players. If you're a player, maybe you can look at some of the situations I'll give you with the 4 Ds. Don't forget, I'll put it up there again. 4 Ds are defending. If you're a coach and your team's struggling with defending, set it out, off you go. Guys, I'll see you next time.
Named Maria, and he was making it real hard to see her.